What's going on, family? Happy Friday. This is Maya Lynn. Welcome. I hope y'all are having a fabulous Friday. My name is Maya Lynn Harris, founder of Womb Women Own Minority Businesses. And all week I have been chit-chatting with you, talking about 10 ways to network like a pro. We have gone over understanding how to prepare properly for a networking event, whether it's virtual or in person. We've talked about, I'm getting myself together. We've talked about what to say when you get there. Okay. We've also talked about the follow-up. We've talked about, making sure you're adding value. So with our last conversation for the week on networking, I want to talk about the best places to network virtually. So of course, with COVID, we're dealing with a completely different world, honestly, right? Completely different world than we've ever had to deal with before. But that does not stop the networking train. You have to keep getting out there and meeting people and talking to people and really letting folks know about your business or your company or whatever it is that you're doing. All right. So some of the best places to network are, of course, social media platforms, but there are some that are better than others. So I'm going to start with, the obvious one, Facebook. So why I like Facebook is because really networking through groups is super, super powerful and easy. Facebook groups allow you to find people who are right in your target market, or whatever brands that you're trying to represent, whoever you're looking for, there is a Facebook group there for you to connect with people. All right. And so the first thing you do is just search what you're looking for. For example, Womb is a business development community for women entrepreneurs of color. So guess what I'm looking for? I'm looking for groups that have women entrepreneurs of color. Very simple. And so whether I'm looking up Black businesses or Black women in business or women of color in business, any of those titles, I'm going to find groups that have my target audience. So much so that, in fact, I think I told you on Monday, Womb is connecting with women across the country. We have this whole Womb Takes America initiative going on right now. And during our first month, our second week, we were focusing on Alaska. Now, look, I live in Richmond, Virginia. Like, how am I going to find women entrepreneurs in Alaska? So the first thing I did, I just went to Facebook and looked up people of color in Alaska, Black folks in Alaska. And I found some groups, the Alaskan Chamber of Commerce. There's literally a group called Black Folks in Alaska. It has like almost 3,000 people in it. So that's where I started, right? So if you're using Facebook, just look for groups that have people that that's in your target audience or people that you are specifically looking to connect with. And it's the same rules apply in Facebook groups as they do if you're at a networking event. All right. Prepare, make sure you have, who you're looking for, what you want to say when you get in there. You're always going to introduce yourself, tell about yourself, your business, whatever you're talking about. You also have to make sure that you're engaging in the group. So the way the whole Facebook algorithm is set up, if you're in a group and you're not liking and commenting and creating posts in the group, very few people in the group will see what you've posted. Okay. So let's say you are trying to connect with realtors, I don't know, and you're in a realtor group and you're only in there maybe once a week or so. And let's say they have a day that you can post your information. A lot of groups do that. My group does that. There's a day that you can post your business information, and that's the only day that you post. There are very few people who are going to actually see your post because you are not engaging. If you notice in Facebook groups, there are badges that are awarded to members of the group for their engagement. So you get a rising star badge, top storyteller badge, those types of things, new member badge as well. And so that is Facebook saying, hey, you're on the right track. Keep engaging. The more you do that, the more people will see your post, right? If you're a rising star or top storyteller, you're showing up on a ton of profiles when you are posting. So if a group has, so think about it, some of these groups have 3,000, 10,000, 20,000, hundreds of thousands of members, and everybody is, people are posting here and there. There's no way for you to see every single person's post. So the more you engage, the more people will be shown what you're posting. All right. The other thing about posting in these groups is you don't have to just, this is my business. Right? The more you engage, the more you talk, you're going to create curiosity. You can say, oh, this person always has really good advice, or this person always has a good comment to add. So what are they going to naturally do? They're going to naturally click on your picture to go check out your profile. All right. That is how you start to create those conversations. If you see someone that's really having, just making some great comments, comment back, reply, say, oh my goodness, yes, laugh, ask questions. Then you want to reach out. You have to have that banter first, though, in those groups. Then you want to reach out and say, hey, you know what? I love what you're talking about in the group. I'd love to be able to connect with you sometime. Do not go for a sale. In fact, some groups will actually kick you out if you inbox someone trying to sell something to them. But if you've commented on the group, hey, I'd love to be able to connect with you, can we talk offline? Then it is appropriate to inbox somebody. Okay. So Facebook groups, great place to meet new people, constantly getting new connections that way. LinkedIn, of course, is another powerhouse when it comes to networking. If you're not using LinkedIn, family, look, LinkedIn's like the last place that just doesn't really depend on algorithms. So you honestly, when you post something on LinkedIn, most people that you're connected with on LinkedIn will see it. All right. But LinkedIn is literally designed for networking. With some of the, a very good friend of mine who is just, a genius when it comes to LinkedIn, Rob YB Youngblood. What's up, big little brother? But he has taught me a lot about, connecting and talking to folks on LinkedIn. And when you're making those connections, when you're commenting on folks' posts and things like that, it's fine to inbox them, introduce yourself. The purpose of LinkedIn is to make these connections. Introduce yourself. Hey, I saw, some of the things you've been talking about. I'd love to be able to connect with you sometime. Make those connections. If you're sending out a friend request or you're sending out a connection request on LinkedIn, it allows you to send a message. Now, like Facebook, a message doesn't come with a friend request. You just get random friend requests. But LinkedIn allows you to send a message. Don't just randomly send people messages on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is for connections. Okay. So in fact, I would take LinkedIn over Facebook any day when it comes to building connections. But when you're trying to connect with someone new on LinkedIn, make sure you give them send them a message along with the request. Hey, you know what? I saw what you're doing. I think we have some potential to have some great conversations. I'd love to be able to connect with you, and then send it to them. If you just send an empty request to someone on LinkedIn, you're losing a huge opportunity to start a connection. All right. So make sure you're doing that on LinkedIn. So when it comes to networking, definitely LinkedIn and Facebook are my two recommendations when it comes to social media. Then you want to make sure you're connecting with organizations that also have a virtual footprint. I don't know. I'm just saying, I know an organization that has a virtual footprint. Its name is Womb. It's pretty awesome. So Womb is actually one of our centerpieces, is a virtual networking event called the Empowered Experience. In fact, the link is somewhere in here. You can see the link. It is a free networking event. Okay. And when you come, we immediately get you speed networking. We get you working with other people on different projects in the actual event. You want to look for networking events, virtual networking events that give you the opportunity to connect with the other attendees. Now, some events that you'll attend, maybe like a summit, or a challenge, they might not really have an opportunity to connect with everybody else. Sometimes they'll tell you to put your information in the chat. You can connect that way. But you want to look for virtual networking events that specifically allow you to connect. In fact, they empower you to connect with the other attendees. So that's one thing I love about our networking event, because we want you to meet the other people in the room. So we start off with a speed networking piece. You get about 3 minutes to talk to whomever you have a chance to talk to at that point. Usually we do maybe about 5 or 6 rounds of that. And then later on in the event, we do our Harambe Circle, which is a brainstorming session where we put everybody in small groups, and they're working on different projects. And so again, it's all about meeting people and finding something that is going to be the potential for a good business relationship. All right. So using social media, attending virtual networking events, you can always go to Eventbrite. There's a ton of virtual networking events that are posted there. I would dare you to even look for networking events that are not in your area. Why can't you attend a networking event, a virtual networking event that's based out of California or wherever you are, right? So you don't have to just limit yourself to events that are based in your area. Look for events, especially if you're an entrepreneur and you are looking to have, clients in other states than your own. That means you have to purposefully look to connect with people outside of your state. So Eventbrite is a really great source of looking for events that are happening. Actually, Facebook events is actually another good source as well, as far as looking for networking events that are happening. But the biggest thing is to be proactive when it comes to virtual networking. No one's just going to come to you. No one's going to jump out of your computer and say, hey, network with me. You have to be proactive about it. And the more proactive you are, the more people you'll be able to connect with. Again, every person you come across is a potential connection. It doesn't mean that every single person is a connection by any means, but every person is a potential connection. So you want to prepare yourself, and you want to make sure that you're meeting people on a regular basis. Don't do it once a month where you're trying to meet 20 people in one day. Every day, make it a part of your daily goals, to say, I'm going to connect with 1 or 2 new people every single day. And that doesn't mean I'm selling to that person. That means I'm making a connection, and you're working on building that relationship. All right. I hope this week has been valuable to you. Make sure you check out our old videos from the week. We just started a YouTube channel as well. So if you miss any of the videos, you can go to our Womb Biz YouTube channel and check out the videos from the week. I love to make sure that I invite you to our empowered experience. I definitely want to make sure I invite you to the empowered experience. Thank you, Shari. And Shari said that she just signed up just join LinkedIn. It is a great place. It is a great place to meet people, and you are quite welcome, my dear, as well. For you, Tamia, you are quite welcome. Make sure that you are using those, all right? And you want to make sure that you register for our Empowered Experience. It is coming up on March 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a completely free event. Last month, we had over 125 registrations for the event. And so we're really excited to be able to create this opportunity for women entrepreneurs of color to come together, to build together. And I'm trying to see, of course, you know what, y'all, I got to make sure I actually give you the link, right? So that would be very helpful. But the link is actually somewhere in the description. And if you don't see that, I'm going to put it right here. How about that? I have to retype it because it's not visible. Boop, doop, doop, boop, boo. Live and in color. Here we go. Let's see. There it is. There's a waiting list for the Empowered Experience. So make sure that you jump on there. Just register, and you will get some reminders. You'll get some text reminders. You'll get some email reminders as the event comes closer. Of course, you want to make sure you're in our Facebook group, which is Womb Connect. We literally purposefully have a Facebook group for the purpose of making new connections. Again, for women entrepreneurs of color, this is a great place to meet more women entrepreneurs of color. There's almost 1,500 members in there now, so we'd love to have you a part of the crew. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Get out there, network, have conversations. This is the first of our series in our people. Under our people section. Next week, we'll be moving on to our planning section. Guys, we got people, we got planning, we got productivity, we got profits, right? And so each week, we're going to bring you a topic underneath one of those particular, what we call our strongholds, our core values. And so next week, we're going to be focusing on planning, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that on Monday. So make sure that you join me 4 p.m. or maybe 4:30 on Monday as we chit chat about business planning. All right. Have a great weekend. Be blessed and be a blessing. And I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.